The long-awaited Ogo toilet review. So, I just checked with Steph. We've had it for 5 months. That's when the other video came out. That's when we put it in. So here it is. It's still in top condition. What has it done? We've done the gib with it. So it's handled some corrugations. We've done broom. We've done... Basically, we put it in Whyalla in South Australia. And we've driven up through the centre. And then across the gib to Broome. All the way down south. And then we're in the southwest now. So... it's been a long time. A few things I've nailed and a few things I've tweaked along the way. It's been a learning curve. For us, it's just been unreal. I can't rate it more if you're traveling for a long period of time. If you're just doing holiday and stuff, like going away for a week or two, there's no point. Like, just use the cassette, because you're going to go to a caravan park or something like that and just dump it. If you're doing more off-grid stuff like us, it's easier for us because you can just bury it, or you can bag it and just chuck it straight in the bin. As for the wheeze, we just tip it out, basically, or put it in a dump point, or just put it down a toilet and then flush it, and Bob's your uncle, away you go. Our wheeze usually lasts 2 days to 3 days. We got 5, obviously, if you're watching us. Hopefully you are. If you're not, you know where to subscribe. We've got other videos. There's a light that comes on. That's one thing that's sort of really temperamental. So I've found when it's hot, the container swells, so it works off pressure in the back of the toilet. So when more wee gets into it, it obviously expands and pushes against this sensor, and you can tweak the sensor, but I'm forever chasing myself for the right setting. So I've just now gone 2 days, remember to check it, or when you go into the toilet, just get off it and then check the level. And I go, okay, that's not going to last us through the night, or you overflow it, which is what I'm going to get to next. Try not to overflow it. So it's not a big deal. Ours just goes everywhere, which sucks. You have to like pull the cover off, pull everything out of the guts of it, pull it out, and then yeah, just clean up all the wee and put it all back together. It doesn't affect the pump, just because ours has holes where it screws into the ground, so it sort of seeps out underneath, which is not great either. Double-edged sword. If it was contained, it would fill up and then short out the motor. So we've got some friends that's happened to them, so I don't know how that's happened to them or whatever. I don't know the details. So it's not flawless. And also, I think they were telling me that the cog, so there's a cog that engages on the bottom of the toilet, so the poo section, and actually turns the agitator, and it stripped out the gears. So I don't know what kind of poos they were doing in that thing. It's caught and the motor's just gone for it, and obviously it's just stripped it out, or it wasn't seated properly or something like that. Yeah, I think that's about it for wheeze. Just check it. Wheeze are easy. I think the kids nailed it. For little kids, it's not that hard at all. They just flip up the toilet seat, away you go. You don't have to flush this bad boy, so you save that little bit of water off grid. Also with the wheeze, what we do is we put white vinegar in it. So just a little splash and then actually a little squirt of detergent. It's sort of just, the vinegar counteracts the wee smell, and so with the detergent, I don't know, we got told by someone about that, so we just do it and it worked. Poo section. So we've gone through a lot of different styles of trying to do this with the Corpete. So what it is just like a contained mulch, like a compressed mulch, that's the one, compressed mulch, and then they say to add water. So what I'm getting at here is we don't add the water. I think originally I said there was 7 litres of Corpete, which is on the bag that you get, and then, or 5 litres, I can't remember what I said, just have a look at my other video and watch that one. And then some water, and it expands, and then you put it in, and then it starts agitating. But what we've found is that the water speeds up the whole process. So as soon as water gets contained in it, it starts expanding, and then what it does is it oversaturates it and turns it into like a boggy Play-Doh, which sounds fantastic. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. If the poo's getting mixed in, it doesn't stink at all. It's when you're doing poos on top of that boggy mess, so you basically change it before that point in time. I still rate it 100%. We've had it for 5 months. I haven't been to a dump point since, which has been absolutely fantastic. It hasn't stunk. We can last, we get a week. I don't know what anyone else is, I don't know how everyone else is doing 5 to 6 weeks. If anyone's on here that's got one, please tell us your recipe down below in the comments. For the life of me, I've tried 20 different ways. I've added more water, less water, more peat, less peat. The more peat I add, I think it just speeds up, or not speeds it up, the process just stays the same. No matter how much peat goes in, it still gets to the same ending at the same amount of time. So our current setup is, I get a 15 litre brick. They're from Bunnings. I think they're like $7. And I cut it into 4 equal parts, and then I use that for 1 week. So we chuck it in. I break it up physically and just chuck it straight in. I don't even pull the toilet out. Or I got to unload the loads and put it somewhere. I just break it up, put it in there, and then as you drop poos in there, deuces as we call them in this house. Yeah, it just mixes up, and then it just starts mixing, and then it just does its thing. I don't know. And then about a week's time, because we've been writing down when we've been doing it and everything like that. So yeah, max we can get. Oh, I think we've gone 2 weeks before. That's been our max. We just get a week, but you don't have to go anywhere. You can just dump it. You can bag it and put it in the back bag or whatever. You can carry it with you. It doesn't stink. That's the thing. So you can either go bury it, dig it 600 and bury it in the ground. You can put it in a nearby bin. You can carry it with you till you find a bin. Yeah, but you can change it whenever. If you've got the core peat for the next run, chuck it in, and then away you go. I reckon it's unreal. I reckon you should buy one. Nah, just kidding. Don't do that. My wife just yelled out to me that it works for us. And for us, being off grid, trying to be off grid as long as possible, we just did Ningaloo, and I think we lasted a month off grid. The thing is, if you got that core peat, you can last as long as you want last. Yeah, if you've got the resources there, you can get rid of the other stuff and chuck it in. I also wanted to add that we actually put our poo paper into a container with a bag in it. Found that obviously doesn't go in and start spinning, and it sort of gets clogged in there, and you got to use the right toilet paper and all that kind of stuff. So we just roll with that. I don't know, it sounded really disgusting to us at first, but it's really not that bad. So what we do is, we've literally got the little container here. That's the wee one, that's the poo one. It's fully sealed, it's inside a bag, and when it's full, we just chuck it in the bin when we're going out, and away she goes. That just sort of frees up the space inside the toilet we thought gonna last longer, but it still doesn't. Anyway, I think I'm rambling a bit now. We haven't modified anything else, nothing. The sensor's a bit of a dicky one. It's a good toilet. I don't know what else to say. If you got any questions, put them in the comments below. I rate it. If you're really thinking about it, just do it. Oh, $2,000 we paid for it. I installed it. If you watched the other video, put it in the description below. Alright guys, so stick with us. We got some more videos coming up. Hopefully they're educational and entertaining. Just remember, like and subscribe. It goes a long way. It helps us. We've actually monetized. We hit 1,000. So hopefully that can grow. But yeah, everything helps. Give us a comment below. If you watch it, please just comment. Just say sick vid or whatever. I don't know. Make it entertaining for me and I'll have a good giggle. Anyway, thanks again guys.